Once upon a time, in a peaceful forest far, far away, there lived a little sparrow named Pippin. Pippin was the tiniest bird in the entire forest, with feathers that shimmered like the morning sun and a cheerful chirp that could brighten anyone's day. But despite his cheerful nature, Pippin had one big worry. He was afraid of flying too far from his nest. Pippin's nest was high up in an old oak tree, where he lived with his mother and father. Every day his parents would fly off into the forest to gather food, soaring high above the treetops and diving into the bushes below. Pippin would watch them with wide eyes, wishing he could be as brave as they were. But every time he tried to spread his wings and fly farther than a few branches away, fear would grip his little heart and he would return to the safety of his nest. One bright and sunny morning, Pippin's mother told him, "Pippin, you are growing up, and it's time you learn to explore the forest. The world is so big and beautiful, and there are many adventures waiting for you." Pippin nodded, but deep down, he was scared. What if he flew too far and couldn't find his way back? What if he got lost or hurt? The forest seemed so vast and full of unknowns. "Don't worry, my dear," said his father, noticing Pippin's worried expression. "Courage isn't about not being afraid. It's about doing what you must, even when you're scared." Pippin wanted to be brave like his parents, so he decided to try. He took a deep breath, spread his little wings, and flew from branch to branch, each one a little farther from his nest. He flew past the tall pines, the colourful flowers, and the gentle stream that whispered softly as it flowed. As Pippin fluttered his wings, he felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. But he kept going. As he flew, Pippin saw other creatures of the forest, rabbits hopping through the grass, squirrels leaping from tree to tree, and even a family of deer drinking from the stream. Everyone seemed so happy and free, and Pippin began to feel a little braver. But then, something unexpected happened. Dark clouds gathered in the sky, and the wind began to howl. A storm was coming, and Pippin was far from his nest. The trees swayed violently in the wind, and the once friendly forest now seemed terrifying. Pippin's heart raced. He had never flown in a storm before. The wind tugged at his wings, making it hard to stay in the air. He wanted to turn back, but he wasn't sure which way to go. Panic started to set in, and he began to doubt if he could make it home. Just as Pippin was about to give up, he heard a voice. It was an old owl perched in a nearby tree. The owl had seen many storms and was wise beyond measure. "Little sparrow," the owl called out in a calm and steady voice, "don't let fear control you. You are stronger than you think. Focus on what you know. Trust your wings, and they will carry you home." Pippin listened to the owl's advice. He took a deep breath, steadied his wings, and focused on the path ahead. The storm raged around him, but he kept flying. He remembered the way the trees looked from above, the sound of the stream, and the warmth of his nest. Slowly but surely, Pippin made his way through the storm. Finally, after what felt like hours, Pippin saw the familiar shape of his oak tree. His heart soared with relief and joy. With one last burst of energy, he flew up to his nest and landed safely inside. He was drenched and exhausted, but he had made it. Pippin's parents were there waiting for him, worried but proud. "You did it, Pippin," his mother exclaimed, wrapping her wings around him. "You found your way home." "You were brave," his father added, "even when it was hard." That's what courage is all about. From that day on, Pippin wasn't afraid to explore the forest. He knew there would be challenges and storms along the way, but he also knew that he was strong enough to face them. He had learned that being brave didn't mean never being scared. It meant pushing through the fear and believing in yourself. And so, Pippin the little sparrow grew up to be one of the most adventurous birds in the forest. He would often fly far and wide, discovering new places and making new friends. And whenever he met another young bird who was scared to spread their wings, Pippin would tell them the story of how he had once been afraid too. But the other birds listened to Pippin's story, and it gave them the courage to try flying farther than they ever had before. Pippin had become a symbol of bravery in the forest, showing everyone that no matter how small or scared you might feel, you can still do great things if you believe in yourself. And so the forest remained a place of beauty and adventure, with Pippin leading the way, teaching others the true meaning of courage. The little sparrow had learned that while the world could be big and frightening, it was also full of wonderful surprises, just waiting for those brave enough to spread their wings and fly. Moral: courage is not the absence of fear, but the determination to face your fears and keep moving forward. Even the smallest and most fearful among us can achieve great things with bravery and belief in oneself.